So, what if I told you that one of the best crisis management plans ever written wasn't cooked up in some modern boardroom, but on a battlefield, like 3,000 years ago? Today, we're going to break down the amazing story of Psalm 3, which is basically a guide to finding your footing when your entire world is falling apart. Right away, the story just throws us into the middle of the chaos. There's no gentle buildup, just this raw, desperate cry of crisis. Oh Lord, I have so many enemies. You can just feel the weight in those words. I mean, this isn't just some fancy poetry, right? It's that breathless, panicked feeling of being completely and utterly overwhelmed. And to really get how desperate this is, you have to know the backstory. The author, King David, is literally running for his life. And the guy leading the rebellion, the one orchestrating the whole coup, it's his own son, Absalom. Think about that. This isn't just politics. It is the deepest, most personal betrayal you can possibly imagine. Okay, so first up, let's really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this thread. We need to get a sense of what it actually feels like to be this king, totally surrounded by enemies, not just outside his camp, but inside his own head too. And notice how the attack here isn't just physical. The words themselves are weapons. You can almost hear them shouting, "God will never rescue him." This is straight-up psychological warfare. It's the ancient version of an online mob, and it's aimed not just at his body, but at crushing his spirit, at stamping out that very last glimmer of hope. And then the psalm gives us a number to help us visualize this feeling. David says he isn't afraid of 10,000 enemies all around him. I mean, just try to picture that, 10,000 to 1. It's a number that's meant to convey that absolute, crushing weight of being hopelessly, completely outnumbered. Everything we've seen so far is just a downward spiral into despair. But then, right at the moment of maximum pressure, the entire text pivots on a single, powerful word. This, right here, is the crucial turning point of the whole story. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got the reality of the crisis, this storm of enemies and despair. But on the right, you see a conscious choice being made. He stops looking at the storm and starts looking through it to his source of strength. That pivot, "But you, O Lord," is a deliberate act of refocusing his entire perspective. He calls God a shield, and this is so much more than just a piece of metal. A shield, in this sense, is like a portable fortress. It's an all-encompassing protection that deflects not only the physical attacks, but the psychological ones, the taunts, the fear, the anxiety. It is, for all intents and purposes, a shield for the mind. So what happens after this dramatic mental pivot? Well, you might expect a sudden miraculous battle or something, but the actual outcome is far more profound, and honestly, it's way more surprising. Let me ask you this. When you're totally overwhelmed, when your adrenaline is pumping and your life is on the line, what is the one thing you absolutely cannot do? You can't sleep, right? But that is exactly what he does. I lay down and slept. This is maybe the most shocking verse in the entire psalm. In the middle of a life or death crisis, surrounded by enemies, he finds a peace so deep that he can sleep soundly through the night. And that's the whole point. Sleep becomes the ultimate sign of trust. It's a complete surrender of control. This isn't about ignoring the danger. It's about being so secure in your shield that you can find total rest even when the storm is raging right outside your tent. This profound peace doesn't just end there, though. It actually transforms into something else entirely. Rest gives way to a newfound confidence, which then just erupts into this bold, almost aggressive declaration of victory. Look at the progression on this slide. He wakes up completely changed. That desperate cry from the beginning is gone. Now it's a series of commands: arise, rescue. The imagery gets raw and visceral. Slap all my enemies, shatter their teeth. This is no longer a prayer of desperation, it's a confident demand for divine action. And he ends with this powerful summary statement. After facing his fear, pivoting his focus, and finding peace, he arrives at the ultimate conclusion. True victory, true safety, it doesn't come from his own strength or his own strategy. It comes from a single, reliable source. So this ancient text becomes this powerful model for navigating our own crises. And it leaves us with a timeless question, just as relevant today as it was 3,000 years ago. When you feel surrounded, when the walls are closing in, and the voices of despair are shouting, what is your shield?